The big Multiplex ski expands the advantages of the tried and tested sonic grade sensor in the longitudinal plane. 3 sonic sensors attached to a beam cover a total distance of up to 13 meters. Like all sonic sensors, the big Multiplex ski is highly flexible and has a large measuring range of plus or minus 10 centimeters. The big Multiplex ski is suitable for leveling out all kinds of irregularities. The averaging of values from multiple sensors also allows the leveling of extended longitudinal undulations in the base that a single sensor would not detect as a fault. What's more, the generation of an artificial reference, such as the time-consuming tensioning of a wire, can also be dispensed with when using the big Multiplex ski. The average of the 3 measurements, which can also be below the surface, is sent to the Nevotronic grade and slope control system, which controls the screed. Thanks to the beam, which can be built up by extensions, the big Multiplex ski can be used in variable lengths from 5 meters to 13 meters. The beam consists of several components. The individual sensors can be displaced on the beam, allowing the ski length to be optimally matched to all job site conditions. The ski length most commonly used in practice is 9 meters. Each of the 3 sensors operates according to the same principle of the Voegele sonic grade sensor. Obstacles are automatically excluded from grade measurement, thus ensuring that the correct data is always used for working. Setting up the sensor is child's play, thanks to the very simple user menu of the sensor control unit and the Screwman's console. Every sensor is indicated on the sensor control unit via LED. The sensor arrangements are also shown on the display. All that remains to do is to acknowledge automatic sensor recognition. This, however, is only necessary if the big Multiplex ski is connected for the first time or if its sensor combination has been modified. Prior to starting work, the sensors are zeroed with the reference. In other words, the value currently measured is defined as the target value. This is realized by simply pressing the Set Sensor button. The zeroing process is completed once Set is displayed on screen. Pressing one more button on the Nevotronic Plus operating console initiates the quick calibration function, and the sensor is then ready for use. The Display Parameters button calls up the value of the sensor work window on the display. The work window can be limited to specify the range above or below the target value in which objects are to be considered as references for grade and slope control. The work window is active in most paving situations in order to automatically exclude interfering objects from the measurement. In some cases, it may be useful to deactivate the work window. One such case would be when the screed planing angle undergoes an extreme change during paving, and the height of the front sensor consequently changes by more than 10 centimeters. As the sensor is outside the work window in this example, the Nevotronic system would stop the screed toe point rams. The work window is deactivated in such paving situations. The possibility of activating and deactivating the work window, as well as the large measuring range of the big Multiplex ski, means that the paver can be ready for work without time-consuming refitting. The big Multiplex ski allows perfect joins to be established to existing surfaces, like at the end of milled areas, without grade and slope control having to be manually adjusted. To this end, the front sensor is mounted next to the front end of the crawler tracks. When the paver crosses the milled edge, the front sensor registers the comparatively large change in screed elevation. The change in elevation itself is substantially moderated due to the generation of an average value, with the change in grade only accounting for a third of the current value calculation. The same applies when the centre of mass of the paver crosses the milled edge and the front sensor is consequently lowered again. As soon as the entire paver undercarriage is on the existing surface, the beam of the big Multiplex ski returns to the horizontal position, and the average value generated by 3 sensors again corresponds to the target value. In this way, critical moments for grade and slope control when the paver maneuvers onto the existing surfacing can be optimally compensated for. The big multiplex ski can be attached in two ways. Attaching the sensor beam to the screed arm allows the base to be scanned within the paved width. The special benefit of this is that the freshly paved surface behind the screed is part of the reference and is thus taken into account for controlling the current grade. Alternatively, it's preferable to attach the beam and sensors to the end plate for scanning if the reference is outside the pave width of the paver. The front and rear sensor bracket can be pivoted by 90 degrees so that the front and rear sensors can be adjusted by approximately 1.5 meters to the left or right. This allows the freshly paved surfacing behind the screen to be scanned if the beam is attached to the end plate.